Yeah, but there is no history. Let's start off here.
Click this on the screen.
Yes. We can start with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. So I'll give the word to Marcus. He'll
Okay, so my name is Marcus, and like Tobias said, we're from Sweden and a little bit from France as well. So we make the Crazyflie. It's a small quadcopter in the form of it's a small development platform in the form of a quadcopter. So it's all open source, and the intent is to kind of make a hackable platform for people that want to do flying robotics. So if you get it, you can do. It's open source. The hardware is open, the software is open, the firmware is open. It's all open, so you can hack around. So this is our first version, and I'll show you a picture of the second version as well. And we started out like in 2009. We made our first prototype. We were working at a company where we had a day job as consultants, but we didn't think at the time it was a little bit boring. So we wanted a challenge during our spare time. So we decided to make a quadcopter, and we kind of decided to make a small quadcopter because we thought the challenge was a little bit bigger. And we ended up making just a flying PCB. And this is our first prototype. We didn't have money to solder it with pick and place, so we actually picked and placed it ourselves, and we soldered it in a frying pan.
Wow.
So no, this works. You take the PCB, solder base, and just a pair of tweezers, and then you put it in the frying pan and you heat it up, and it solders.
Awesome.
So this is the first one we made it. And we were actually, the goal was just to get it to fly and to have some fun. And so we finally got it flying after, I think it took 6 months. We started the design until it was flying. And it was we spent a lot of time during the night and the weekends working on this. So we got it flying, and we kind of thought, well, what now? So we made a video of it, and we put it online after 6 months. I think we were pretty tired once we were finished. So we put the project aside, we put it online 6 months later, and it received a lot of attention. A lot of people wanted to know how we built it, if they could buy a kit. They wanted to have their own to hack around. And so we decided, we sat down and thought, well, it would be really fun to do something. And we thought it would be really fun to do an open source platform, because we use open source a lot. And so we decided to just redesign everything, because the battery on this is from toys, and the motors are from toys. We bought like 15 toy airplanes and broke them apart and took all the parts and built this, used the propellers and motors and so on. So we had to, we kind of had to go back to the drawing board, because we had to design it in a way so we could actually manufacture a lot of them. So we ripped up the design and we restarted like a year later after the first one was fine. And so we decided to manufacture it, and then we started looking at partners, how to manufacture it. And we found C Studio on the way, because the thing was, we were doing this during our spare time. We had jobs during the day, so we needed a partner that could help us out with a lot of things, not only the design, or not only the manufacturing, but also the selling of the platform and some mechanical parts and so on. So we found C Studio, and we spent a lot of time, almost 2 years, redesigning the hardware and the software. So that shows how much time you have to spend to actually get it to something you can manufacture. And so like we said, it's an open source platform. And if you do something that's open source and you want other people to be able to develop with it, it's important that other people have access to the same tools as you do. So if you use proprietary tools to do open source stuff, then if people want to download it and change it, they can't. So we decided to use only open source tools in our project. So everything from OS, the firmware, KeyCAD is an electronic CAD program to make PCBs. That's open source. We also use like Python on the PC side. We also use FreeCAD, actually, an open source CAD tool to use to do the first mechanical prototypes. So that's an important part, and we're really happy that there's so many good tools to use. So that was also a challenge. We kind of, since we weren't allowed to work with this kind of tool during the day, we wanted to see if it was possible to design a whole quadcopter using only open source tools, and it was. So I'm jumping around a little bit. Yeah. So. The platform is, so it's an open development platform. It's open hardware and software. And there's a lot of areas to explore when it comes to flying robotics. You can look at the sensors, you can look at sensor fusion. It's a very critical real-time system. So you have to take care of doing specific tasks at specific times. But it's also something we design, we develop in mind. So it has an expansion port that you can expand the platform with and put many boards on. So you can make your own PCBs and put it on. We have a virtual machine that you can download. So this virtual machine kind of contains everything you need to develop, since the tools are open source. You don't have to install anything. You download and install a virtual machine manager. You download a virtual machine and you can start developing everything. So all the tool chains are in there. We also have a logging and parameter framework. So you can easily in real time set parameters when you're flying. And you can also log parameters. Like if you add a new sensor on an expansion board, then you can log it and you can see what's happening with the sensor and so on. So what you write is some code on the PC or some code on in the firmware to actually read the values. And then you use our logging framework to get the data. And it's also like we try to do the documentation so people can use the project. And it has a radio bootloader. So if you want to change one line in the firmware, you download the virtual machine. You start with a virtual machine. You start the clips inside. You change one line. You click compile. You click back, and it flashes the firmware over the radio, and then you're good to go. So we really try to make something with development in mind. So let's hear. I'll just switch. So we want to talk about quadcopters. Nice. Yep. So first, before the demo, I'll just say something about the new one. So let's see here. The first one that I should have pictured, we've been selling for 1.5 years. Seed Studio has been helping out. We're a great partner to do this kind of thing. They take care of our sales and help us with manufacturing, sourcing, and so on. So basically, what we try to do is only the engineering part. And so after being sold for about 1.5 years, we're now releasing the second version that we started in January designing it. And when we did the first version, there were some limitations that we had to stick to, that we wanted to fix. We needed to do more, but we really couldn't back then because we were really short on time. We were doing this on weekends and at night time, and yeah, we had to have a life as well. So we decided to add some stuff that we couldn't for the first one, and also we got some feedback from the community. One great thing with all of them with working with open source is that you get in touch with your users. we worked with product development before we did this, but we've never actually met any of our users. So that's a great thing. So we decided to kind of improve some things like the expansion board. So now you see this board here. You can add expansions on the top and on the bottom of the quadcopter. It supports Bluetooth Low Energy, so you can fly it directly from your iPhone or Android. And it also supports our radio dongle that we do, that uses, it's a chip from Nordic Semiconductor, a Norwegian company. And we have a power amplifier on it, so we get the kilometers range outside line of sight. So you plug it in a PC, and you can fly it from a PC using like a hand controller or something. And we also upgraded, so now there's a lot of processing power on it. It's a Cortex M4 from it's an SD chip, and it has pretty advanced power management. So there's two chips. There's one chip that does Bluetooth Low Energy and power management, and there's a Cortex M4, a chip from SD. So the NRF part from Nordic Semiconductors that handles Bluetooth and radio can actually, it acts as power management, so it can shut down the rest of the platform and wake it up again. So you can imagine use cases like you shut down the platform and you do an iBeacon to broadcast, but there's a quadcopter near you, and you pick it up with a phone and you see, there's a quadcopter. Press fly, and it wakes up and you can fly it. There's no software for this, but there's hardware support at least. So this is kind of architecture I was talking about. So there's NRF port, and then also power management, and the more powerful Cortex M4. And for the flying, we have it's a 10-block view, so we have 3-axis accelerometer, 3-axis gyro, 3-axis magnetometer, and a pressure sensor to get the altitude. So, and this is a picture of the expansion port. So this is the top. So basically, it's the same design. It's like a flying PCB. So you just attach the motors, and this is the expansion port where you can get a couple of UARTs, SPI, I2C. You can also use it for charging, for instance, PVM and so on, and normal GPIO. So this is some of the expansion boards that we do. So this is quadcopter, and we've designed a few expansion boards. Like this is a LED ring that has some RGB LEDs on it, so you can fly around and you can create some patterns. We have like a breakout board. So if you want to do your own prototyping, you can put the breakout board on the quadcopter and you can attach it to a breadboard, and then you can pick together whatever hardware you want and try it out and see if it's working before you make your own board. And we also have like prototyping boards like this. We built a little traffic light. So you get this board and you solder your hardware on it. You put it on. You make some firmware to control it, and then you connect it using our framework. And then from a PC or from your phone, you can control whatever's going on. And I think that's it. To reply.
Yeah, so
yep.
Some maybe the flyers, and we can show the flyers maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe we should show some of the features. So,
And
if Marcus can connect with some computer.
yes, but so you can also, we've had it Bluetooth on this one. So you can also find it on mobile phone. We have iPhone and Android so far. But it's slightly, yeah, less agile with the phone. So I can play it, but I will not be able to do some silly stuff like to be. So even though it's a development kit, it's great to have it flying from a phone because it's easy to start. And phone nowadays have a lot of power. So when we have limited, I will really have that. Yes, I will Android, yes. And maybe Microsoft Office. But I know one thing I would like to do with Android is we have cameras and image processing links. So it would be possible for us to capture flying over the phone. That would be very fun. So there's a lot of things that would be possible to use connection. But for development, the PC is still the first platform because then we have the radio, which is a lot longer range. We have more bandwidth, and we can get data back to the PC, so we can do a lot more things. And the precision game band is a lot better.
Okay, so let's see. You can do what? Heta program. Åtta funkar. 9 har jag tagit en där. Huh? Yeah, we're. Do you remember which number? Zero. So this is our client. Let's see if we can connect to one.
Mine is in range, so we can hang around.
Jag vet inte, jag tror kanske ni... Nej, ni... Testa.
Ja.
Ja. So we're just checking. So here, including the software, we were hacking around in an hour ago. So we reserve ourselves the right for brutal crashes. Den vi tar den andra. Har du en som funkar? So these are the expansion boards. But so we're like this size. So this is one for the ring that we're going to show. We have some for inductive charging, like this. So you put it on and you put it on a Qi charger and you can charge it wirelessly. We have some prototyping and breakout boards as well. For the, so That's here.
Yeah, so yeah, so it's our plan. So we get radio is bidirectional, so we get a lot of information, like the like the orientation of the platform, battery voltage, and also parameters. We have all parameters of the firmware that can be changed in real time. So it's great for development. And for example, yes, here that's the diagram. And so we just implemented an effect variable so we can change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually more impressive without like maybe.
Yeah. So we have this framework for the parameters, but we also, like I said, we have a framework for logging as well. So you can, for instance, yeah. So then you get logging data from a platform. So this is the way this works is that you tag variables in the code with a macro, and when the PC connects, it downloads a list. So if you have a variable that you want to log, you just put it in a macro, recompile the code, and when we connect, we download a list of all the variables you can log. So here are all the variables. The sensors, some debug stuff, power management, and so on. So if you want to add your own stuff, you just put in the code to read the values or whatever, tag it to the macro, recompile the firmware, then you connect, then you can plot it directly. And also here you can then set settings for when flying. Like this says how much you're allowed from the PC to angle the platform. So you can set it for really easy settings, so you can fly around, or you can set it for very aggressive settings, like today as well.
Yes.
Sorry?
Sliding to the headline.
Yeah. I wonder if I have the.
I will turn them on.
No battery.
Yes. So one of the new functions is also that now we can change the battery compared to the first one, which is quite useful.
Every 10 minutes.
Sorry?
Every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes. Yeah.
About 7 minutes for this one. So. Now. Can we turn up a bit the light? Maybe? Yeah.
Do we have another effect? Okay, you can also use, so this uses how much the platform moves. You like the stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so depending on how much you move it, if you hold it completely still, it's nothing. And then if you move it a little, it lights up like that. And then if you move it a lot.
So we're sure there's a lot of cool effects to we're only using it. So that's
Yeah.
so why.
So we
now
do.
we and people will do.
We should show hacking slide. So we also do a lot of.
So roughly, how much is the manufacturing cost?
Roughly. It depends on how many you buy. If you buy a lot, very cheap. If you buy one, they're very, very, very.
The boom cost.
The boom cost. Like I say, it depends how many you buy. If you buy one, they're very expensive. If you buy a lot, it's a lot cheaper. So, but then you have to have a lot of money to buy a lot.
For example, one soda.
I think the bulk cost is maybe $90 if you buy one. Just one hardware. But design, this is during production now, so in middle of December it will be available, and then we will release all the schematics and all the KiCad files, the software, everything will be available online. It's just not really finished yet, so we haven't published of the new one. All the old information from the Crazyflie now, the first version is online, but not until the middle of December we'll release the rest of it. So, are there any questions? Anything you want to know about the?
有没有想提问题的？
You can say we.
So now you are using DC or ALDC.
If I use it, no, I didn't understand it.
So PLDC you have controller to control the PLDC. Yeah, we can control with the PC and with the phone.
Yeah.
As well. So it has Bluetooth energy, so you can control with any phone that has Bluetooth energy. Android and iPhone. No,
But if you're a hacker, you should be. The cool thing is to have a PC in the loop because we can do a lot of cool stuff. Like we can have a Kinect, which kind of senses the environment, so then the computer can fly by itself. You can have one of these that senses your hand, so you can fly with your hand, and there's a lot of possibilities. And also, when you have a PC in the loop, it's easy to update the firmware. You can just click a button and it will send the firmware over there to the Crazyflie and upload it. So yeah, we're working full time, but this is not now for us three. And in the beginning, it was just a hobby project. So we came a long way, I think.
I'm trying to find some video of the Kinect.
So what are you interested about knowing? Details about the technology or other information?
You can see that we have
Yeah, we have some prototypes of cameras, but it's hard to make good cameras of this size. They're either really expensive or they're heavy or they consume much power. So we have some prototypes, but
not yet something.
no,
That's
yeah.
project for next year.
Yeah.
Maybe a bigger one can do that.
Yeah. Sorry?
Can we include GPS module?
Yeah, we have prototypes on GPS modules as well. So a lot of universities are interested in swarm research. You know, when you apply a lot of information to, for example, if there are victims that you want to search and rescue someone, you want to find them, then it's good to have many. You can also have them to put sensor on them to measure maybe pollution or if there's some accident or something, then you can spread them out automatically over area. This kind of applications we'll see in the future. So right now the market is looking a lot of cameras to fly. I mean, you take video from the air, but from what I know, it's not legal anywhere more or less in the world to do it in a commercial way. So you need permits to. You can do it on the countryside. You can fly it yourself and take some videos, but you're not allowed to do it around people or. So there's a lot of regulations before it opens up to this kind of possibilities. But we're focusing on making something that is fun to play with for hackers and that we can develop with and make the next upcoming applications.
What about the intelligent object? Are you trying to make it fly by itself?
Yeah, that will be one of the goals. Yes.
We've had universities that worked with it, but mostly what they use is either they have a detection system in the room, so we can locate the capture and fly it that way. Or we've had one student that did put a camera on it, but he was doing a treatment on PC, and he could stabilize the copter just by looking with the single camera, by looking how things are moving around, he could stabilize it. So people have been doing that with the first Crazyflie, and that's definitely something that we would like to have. I mean, that has been one of the ideas of this platform, that we don't have time to do everything, even though we would like to. So we made a tool that other people can do their stuff with it, and then maybe we can use it in return. So it's coming.
So what would the PCB layout of
We actually do it for everybody. I've done the layout for the control board, but they've done the layout for all the expansion boards.
so then what about problem? What else?
We use KiCad. That was KiCad. It's an open source CAD tool, electrical.
But we all wrote the program.
Yeah.
We do everything from hardware to CSS.
Yeah.
So we kind of
When it comes to
shift. Whoever has time does it.
Yeah.
Is it easy to make it bigger?
Yeah.
Actually, we did once.
Yeah. They actually pretty. I mean,
I can change the myself.
Yeah. That's also one of our goals, to make it simple. Either you make an add-on board which just breaks out the motor controller information, so then you can just attach motor controllers and motors, and you can also make more simple board which has everything, so you can just plug it in and then make it bigger. But yes, it's also one of the upcoming boards that we discussed.
We actually have been including it. We got also shared quadcopter frame, which is big like that. Yeah, it's smaller than that one.
Yeah.
And we taped a Crazyflie one on it, and connected the motor control to the Crazyflie board. And using the same software and the same control algorithms, actually, same control settings, it flew quite well.
Yeah.
So
the old version didn't have so long radio communication, so that was kind of limiting when you have the big ones. But this new one, it can be up to a kilometer if it's good environment.
Yeah. When you fly high,
so that is really interesting to make it bigger, because it's mainly made to pack with inside. You can hide outside, but it becomes like a light fly in the wind. I mean, it doesn't fall down, but it's sort of like, yeah, you have to be a good pilot to control it.
But one reason also for making it small was that we wanted to be able to be inside.
Yeah.
So we can fly this, I mean, in our office, which is like a third as big as this room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and that's a big plus. But you can fly it inside without hurting yourself or whatever is around.
yeah, typically we flew it now.
Yeah.
I would be very stressed if one
Yeah,
flew this
it's totally safe.
in the room.
Yeah.
Can you take a coffee?
Yeah, I have to give you a cappuccino. A small cappuccino.
As long as it's less than 15 grams, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, if some of you would like to try,
Yeah,
Fly.
I'm gonna try flying. No one? Yeah. I actually turn on the lights and
Yes.
we need one more so we can have a competition. Yeah.
So do you do a lot of hardware in this hacker group? No hardware? Do you do any hardware? You do? Yeah. What program do you use? Sorry? I've never used it. No. Oh no, I've never used it. I think
Yeah, I've used it.
You've used it.
I mean, it's more advanced. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So are you sure that this component by hand?
No, these are made by Crazyflie. Yeah. It was only the first version we did by hand. Yeah. And these are a bit hard. I mean, you can do it. I think.
We wrote some rewrite.
It's a radio chip, so there's a really big round layer.
When we started, I
keep clear and so it's a bit more. But I think with the big hot air power. Yeah. That's connected to this. So that's why it wakes up now, and now it goes to sleep. But you can also you can wake up by itself, or you can program it to do something. But so for example, if you wake it up every hour, send back information.
But in Python, there's so much crazy stuff you can do. It's common. Like we used, we did a test where we fly it from the Kinect. So we have an actual Kinect. Yeah, you saw it. Yeah. Yes. So we used our Python together with guy. And then we just put it together in Python and do it. And it works really well. It's pretty hard.
Maybe 1 kilometer.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, it's this one. Yeah. This is a high power radio. Yeah, but only 10 radio. No, 2.4.
If you have a mouse that's connected to the PC, it might be more decent. So it's the good thing is that we have
you don't have prices.
We have our own
the idea is that when you use the GPS, so you need what's called calculation power. So that's why we put on
So we use this radio.
But if you offer the battery, you can get 15 minutes with the bigger battery, but then it gets more sluggish.
It's about 20 minutes. This radio.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you could probably make more. But the thing is, the slower you do it, the less efficient it gets, because you get so quick. You don't get performance and all the things. Yeah, everything that you have to be really careful about the design. So that's why it's hard to make efficient. That's why the bigger one you can fly for almost an hour. You can have big propellers.
SIM card. Yeah. Yeah, we actually. Yeah. It would be very fun. Yes. We looked at it and see it. But there are some modules that you can use.
Yeah, that's a camera. Crossfire. It's just XPD, so it's
Yeah, it's not that high quality. That would be very, very cool. We would like to. We've been looking at some modems. They're pretty big, but maybe maybe if we make something that's a little bit bigger.
So far, which sensors do you integrate?
There's
What's the major number?
the chip, or it's a
I have some
okay. That will be much more complex, or sorry, with brushless. Yeah, you can make one. When we have time, we will make here, or I mean, it depends on the motor controllers. They normally have this key here. It's just one input, but it's actually better to use a motor system. Exactly. It tends to be really noisy. The environment is quite current going. So actually, it's calm when you can kind of calm network or some buses that we don't know about.
So
this new one took about 10 months to develop. But then we had a lot of the software software already from our own. So hardware is just 10 months. I think including software, it will be 2 years maybe. So software actually takes the most time. But I think the software maybe 70% of the time and hardware 30%. If it can, yeah, not right now, but of course you have to. I make no sense otherwise. So we can buy waypoints and stuff like that. It's not over. Yeah. But we haven't developed it yet. But it's kind of, it's not so hard when you have the information from GPS and the information from the system. No, so you need the information from the other sensors. Yeah, it's like 3 meters at least. So it's always but that's a difficult thing. But if you have big space, it doesn't matter so much. But if you have to quite precise, then you can use GPS. Yes, we have some cooperation with a optical flow company that use cameras to yes, we're planning to do that. We don't know, it's under development. They only have prototypes. So maybe in 6 months. We're working on Monday, then we're going back. So we're coming here maybe 1 to 3 what we do here. Where you work at things you do
So this is all kinds of modules you develop.
Yeah,
they're all.
Yeah.
This is Wi-Fi.
No, it's it's used a lot as by Arduino and these kind of wireless. They have big stacks, so it's more complex in software. They also have you get a bigger latency. Yeah, we actually do expansion board with it. But the thing with Wi-Fi is that you get more latency. With this one, you get like 1 millisecond latency between you send the packet to the car receiver. In Wi-Fi, you get maybe 10 to 20 milliseconds. And that can be sometimes an issue. If you're just flying it, then you get it. Yeah, no, but that's also a problem with Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is more complex technology, so you only get maybe 100 megabytes. So it's, but you get bigger bandwidth with Wi-Fi. Maybe a normal FPV 5 gigahertz.
I see RTOS. That's fine.
Yeah, we use 380. You don't need it, but it's good. It's easier to work with when you can make the control algorithms that make it fly high priority to make sure it always runs, and then you can
So why do you have I know some projects use coconut canopy.
I mean, yeah, the old one was we did the same process. When you start putting GPS information as well, this kind of centrifugal filters, it comes with a computation of the temperature. So that then they expect to have the power. And also,
Price is not cheap.
no, it's like 4 times expensive. So, but yeah, I think you want to fly from here or from
No, yeah, there's camera is a problem. Because there's a way. There is only fairly simple. It's simple. But you can't get this directly. Yeah. So we have
Instead, introduce the socket. You have documents about the socket.
software. Yeah, we have written it. Yes.
Are you wired to programming?
Yeah, not Wi-Fi. It's other program. Yeah. But you can program it on the phone as well.
Then you need something. First of all, you need very close no.
So how do you want to play it?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
教练课几年以前有没有玩过？跑一摔的，打字多一点。
After maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, but the one you click in it. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go try.
Then we have so I think because we have how can I control
No, it's trust. So if you're listening, yeah, you have to hold it.
Probably, I have some brain injury.
You need to come up here. Otherwise,
今天我去骑了那个2人的在国交会上，那个也不好上。换一换2个
I haven't tried one, but I'll try it. Now it's pretty very flat.
Yes, I think it's like more. It's a very long. So top is very. I think we had a long snow.
But you can never see.
No, but then it's very nice.
Got it okay.
So we take that. Yeah. It's 6
So I guess you can
It's too long. Yeah,
I'm doing actually, most of my job is but now I'm doing a project which is and then, for example, like questions like A, B, C, D, and then the service interface. So that's pretty much. Yeah. So for example, if you want to write some message,
I would like that. Because I have a keyboard, but with no keys. I have rings.
Yeah, that's our target. Really fast. Like you.
Yes.
Very strong.
It's very, very fun. So that's why it's really important.
I remember. That's why you
I have a hard time remembering